Uh, okay. So, we're back with some more BLC from the Blyatline Champions Cup #1. Not sure if there's even gonna be any more. At least of that particular tournament. I think we're doing at least one more tournament. We wanted to do it earlier, but we just didn't do it, and now I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I kind of want to do like a smaller thing, less epic, I guess. Maybe only like 4 to 6 teams, something like that. But anyway, what we have in front of us is another game from that tournament, and I don't think I've seen any of these games, so this should be interesting. I'm pretty sure this is a losers bracket game, and I didn't do any losers bracket because I was doing winners at the same exact time on a stream. So well, Worm here, we have all three of them on their mains. Seikyo on the Harbinger, Warlock 700 on the Dryad, and Assassassas on the Igniter. Facing Cold Team, Gazhag on Stalker, one of his mains, I guess. He plays quite a lot of melee. And Sanu on his Nomad. I'd say that's his DPS main. I think he's a Dryad main when it comes to healing, but I think it's fair to say that he's a Nomad main. And God of Law on his Grimrog main as well. So we got like 5 out of 6 mains, I'd say, with Gazhag being main-ish right now. But anyway, who fucking cares? Let's get to the game. So 3, 2, 1. Always gotta say that 3, 2, 1. Deviate forward by Gaz. Nice read with the Shadow Bolt by Seikyo though. Gets a Blood Grip on the Sinu. And does he have haste? It doesn't look like he does, but he does have Tornado Calls. So land that. Firestorm onto Gaz though. And he Stalker shields himself and spaces in. Dodges that Shadow Bolt with the Puncturing Strike. Nicely done. Goes for Black Dagger though. I'm not sure if he wanted to, but it still ends up working fine. There's a huge X-Strike onto Seikyo and a Boomerang Fury onto Warlock, but it doesn't do too much damage. Seikyo getting hit by another X-Strike though during his ult, taking a lot of M1 damage. That Meteor not going to hit anything though. Assass with his ult is going to go for 2. No, just lands 1 though. And Gaz is amped up, but he decides to space forward anyway. X-Strike onto Warlock and God of Law throwing in his ult finishes it off. Seikyo coming out of his another shift. Ends up getting killed by a Wind Strike. So no real chance of playback there. It's going to be round 1 in the favor of Cold. I need to close some of these fucking tabs. Oh, I closed the tab I didn't want to close. Oops. Fuck it. I'm lagging a little bit, just like these players who all throughout the tournament were lagging. Gaz hit up with a Shadow Bolt. Does dispel the amp, but is still pretty low. Does get the rune. Totem on the floor. Seikyo does have another shift after taking a little bit too much M1 damage. Voice crack. Ult coming out from Gaz. M1ing onto Seikyo, going for Assass now, and now onto Warlock. So much M1 damage spread across, but Gaz still is really low. Amp onto Sinu, but he was hasted, so he doesn't take too much damage from it. Meteor onto Seikyo. Ult coming in, but not gonna hit. No, it does hit Seikyo. Barely clips him, and he had ult, so that really doesn't do like any damage at all. But the weaken is still pretty powerful, so Assassin's going for Webby's Volcano through the wall, but no one was around. And Black Dagger onto Warlock when he's really low. Does have an ult, but they're going to find Assass. Sanu is, and they're going to go for a playback, but I think Gazhag was going for a slice and dice at that moment, so he doesn't go down, but it's still going to get killed by Seikyo. The HP lead is very high though, and I'd be very surprised to see Cold not winning this. Blood Grip onto Sinu, knocking Seikyo back. X-Strike onto Warlock. Backstab Shadow Bolt onto God of Law, and he's going for Claw Flurry damage. He gets amped up again. Seikyo is really low though, and nice Boomerang Fury onto the Dryad. No Aegis for him, so Sinu knows that there's No possibility of a reflect. Just pops that ult, kills off Dryad, and shuts down the playback. Sass pretty low TPS that time. Not what you want from your Igniter usually, but they do all have pretty high TPS heroes on Warm. Champions, I should say. I always say heroes, but I should probably change that, honestly. Black Dagger, not going to hit anything, was really off the mark by Gaz, and he's taking a lot of M1 damage right now. He's going to dodge out of the amp, but then dodges back into it and takes a lot of damage. Has to sprint away. Gets dotted up, needs to be healed by God of Law immediately, and does get some heals, so he should be fine, but God of Law is still in a lot of trouble. Sanu going for a solo Boomerang Fury onto Assassin, trying to get the kill on Gasag, deviates back in, gets the last M1, even stealths himself with his EX cloak. Don't remember what that spell is called, but very nicely done by Gaz, coming back in. Adrenaline must have been pumping at that moment. going for it all, man. And there's gonna be another invisibility on Gaz right when he gets amped up. God of Law does get a big ultimate onto Seikyo as well, so he ends up dying. And 3-0 is the score. Don't want to come back from a 3-0. I think Worm Team have seemed strong enough for the most part. It's really Sass who needs to change his play, I think. He's getting caught up by the Nomad so much, and he is kind of countered by it, to be fair, but it's still no excuse. Gasag crippling flamed back into his spawn, getting hit by so many M1s right now. Ends a Shadow Strike, so he's going to get some move speed off of that. Seikyo coming in for Sinu right now, lands what is it called? Shadow Curse. And Gazhag does get ulted by Assassin and then by Warlock. Won't get hit by the amp though. Warlock barely missing that. Nice webbies into the volcano by Assassin. And he's going to be spacing back. Seikyo going for M1s. Trying to chase down Sinu. Gaz so low. Has to dodge all these M1s, and he's going to get hit by the final one by Assassin, who is really low himself, but does dodge all that damage. But still going to go down to a Boomerang Fury, standing in the corner trying to go for Firestorm, but meanwhile, Seikyo is getting a lot of M1 damage into God of Law's back. Everyone complaining about the lag. I didn't know that like there was this much complaining, because I'm casting all the games I didn't cast, and everyone in my games was pretty much complaining too. I would say Stormlock, or sorry, Funcom. Shadow Strike onto Warlock. Sleep onto Gaz, he gets amped up as well. Frost Shard onto Warlock as well. Puncturing the wall, but that's going to end up being helpful for him. Huge X Strike by Sinu. Doesn't land the sluggish bomb though. Slice and dice onto Warlock, and he's so low. X Strike onto him as well with, I believe, a Shadow Strike from Gazhag, and he goes down. Huge webbies. Volcano into 2. Seikyo going for an ult. I don't think there's any way they can play this back. Even with the ult with Assassin, they would have had to kill that Grimrock. That's the only way I could see it happening, and even then it would be so hard versus the Nomad and even the Stalker. Let's be real. They have the Stalker Dispel for any dots that go up, and so much just so much like 1v1 annoyance, I guess, or like when there's no healers in the game, all damage is permanent. So 4-1 in favor of Cold. Nice Shadow Bolt onto Gazhag. Sass Black Daggered up. Would have got hit by that X-Strike for sure though. Volcano coming out, but Sinu's not going to get hit by it. Still taking a lot of damage though. Has to get given 2 shields and pops his haste. A lot of setup for Gaz right there. Gets amped up, but is able to walk out of the volcano just in time. M1's onto him as well. Sluggish Bomb onto Seikyo. And X-Strike coming out. Volcano, or sorry, Meteor going to be off the mark. Huge ult from Assassin. Or was that only a single ult? But Stalker going in with a Shadow Hunt. Sanu saying that he's lagging, but it doesn't look like the enemy really cares. X strike onto Assassin. Huge damage. There was also a curse of silence onto him. Double ult coming out from Warlock, or was that a triple ult? And they're gonna kill off Sanu there. And ult coming in from Sasas as well to finish off Gaz. 2-4. Can't be arsed. This shit. Have fun with VODs on YouTube harmfully. Wow. This is like really sad that that message was conveyed like over a month later. Yeah, sorry, Sainu. I dropped the ball on this one. Guess I half health already. But there was a big X strike. And Tornado onto Seikyo. Can't get healed that duration. But this line of Blood Grip and a huge ult already from Assassin. And Sinu just says lag. Just goes down. I think he still could have done stuff, but they were so far behind. It would have been an amazing playback. Very low possibility of playback there. 3-4. They have to not tilt here. I mean, the lag has to be bad, but you got to know your teammates or your opponents are lagging too. This is so bad. Guess I barely dodging that Shadow Bolt. X strike coming out. And Seikyo, now they shifted. Ooh. I mean, I don't think that the lag shows up in the replay. I don't know if the lag is actually showing up in the replay right now. Double ult coming up from Assassin. I mean, that'd be some crazy lag. Amp and a lot of M1s onto Sanu, and he's just shooting in the same direction. Gas hag really, really low. Slice and dice and X strike onto Assassin. Nice dodges by Gaz, but it's not going to save him in this situation. I think this is what Harmful would deem uncastable DLC. This game actually has gotten pretty uncastable, not gonna lie. Nice backstab, ult, pretty long range from God of LoL right there. But this is getting a little bit sad. I have to wonder if Sanu really is getting horrible lag and he's about to lose a map over some ridiculous stuff. Nice amp onto Gaz to start off the match. Blood Grip onto Sanu. Pops his haste. They go for the CC onto Seikyo. He's given Aegis after he gets CC'd though, so at least they get that out of it. Curse of Silence onto Seikyo, but he's going for M1s anyway. I think he got broke out of it pretty fast. Assassin spacing forward. Gonna get hit by Boomerang Storm. Has an ult. Only a single ult though. Black Dagger onto Warlock. And an ult coming out after a puncturing strike from Gasag. He gets reflected in nice ult from God of LoL. Gonna finish off Assassin there. Curse of Silence onto Seikyo. And Puncturing Strike as well. Aegis handed to him. Frost Shard onto Warlock. And they go for Dark Voodoo. My mind is just like off right now. Nice Slice and Dice Boomerang Storm combo. And yeah, that was a pretty nice game. Seemed like the team that deserved to win ended up winning. Were they like 4-1? I think they were 4-1, so that would have been pretty devastating stuff if they ended up losing that. Alright. If I hit back long enough. Okay. So, game 2. Oh, right. What I forgot to do is change it to where Cold have won. Yeah, I really need like better streaming software so I don't have to manually do it. Well, I guess that's how everyone has to do it, right? I'm sure there's better software I could use though. Anyway. Round 1, same map. I should actually go through the picks though. It's actually just the same exact picks, okay. I'm gonna laugh if I just picked the same game or something. But no, this isn't the same game. Seikyo already taking a lot of damage though. Lands a Blood Grip, given Aegis, hit with X-Strike and Puncturing Strike, so he's really low. Didn't even get the Rune. Gasag ended up getting that. Lands a Shadow Strike on the Seikyo, and he's going for Shadow Hunt right now. Lands 2 M1s onto him as well, so he has to burn his own Aegis. He does land his own Shadow Bolt, but God of Law just spaces forward, goes for Claw Flurry, silences the ult from Seikyo, Warlock, but he still tries to get a collapse onto Sanu, who ends up going for a Boomerang Fury, killing off Warlock. They do get the damage, enough damage to kill off Sanu there. I think he died to a Conflagration. Yeah, Assasas has the kill. So yeah, he died to Conflag. And look at Assasas's energy. He's already back up to 80 energy. So he almost had another ult to work with there, but definitely not going to come out in time. Sluggish onto Seikyo. While Gashag and Assasas 1v1. Sanu's going to CC up Seikyo though, and Gaz is on Warlock. Has to be careful for now. Seikyo does get that room, but at what cost? Look at his HP. Taken solo, lands a Shadow Bolt, gets purged off by Gashag's dispelled, I should say, by Gashag immediately. Double hemorrhage from that space. Seikyo with his ult, getting a lot of M1s onto Sanu, just another shifts away. Lands a nice backstab, Shadow Bolt onto Gaz, who does get knocked away as well. I almost said other side. Sanu gets interrupted, I'm not sure how, on his ult though. Slice and dice on the Seikyo. Gaz so low, but the M1s they're just not connecting from the Sass. He did land one there, but not gonna be enough. Totem on the floor, Puncturing Strike. Gonna miss, I think. Blood Grip on the Gaz, he's so low, has to be careful right now. Gets hit with the Lightning Beam, Fire Beam, Lightning Beam. Conflagration coming out, and they kill off Gaz. I think that was Warlock that ended up killing him. You don't see his corpse because it's way over there. DLC replay bugs. That's some classic stuff right there. But what happened was he spaced, and when you teleport in BLC, they don't like delete the model or anything. They just put your model somewhere else. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Maybe that's not exactly what happens. That's what I think happens though. At least in replays that's what happens. But he, like, when you turn invisible, like to where your model doesn't show up, so Gashag was spacing and the model disappears for just a second. The thing is, even when you're spacing, like while you're casting it, you can still get hit by one more thing. So if you get hit by one more thing during that and you're like low enough to die, like you will die. So he died while he was out there, and yeah, that's what happened with the replay. Anyway, X-Strike onto Assas, or misses Assas, but he's still taking quite low from the M1s, while Gashag is 1v1 Warlock, losing it, I should say. With a Firestorm and a Shadow Bolt to the back, nicely done. But Seikyo is still really low. Dark Voodoo doesn't hit Seikyo, but it doesn't end up mattering. My computer's lagging. That was a really really nice kill onto the Harbinger there. I really wish I could stop this recording and like close things, but I don't want to stop it because then I have to like use Sony Vegas and re-render everything together. Too fucking lazy, man. Just want to upload it the way it is. Super ghetto. Anyway. Big Puncturing Strike onto Assas. He's given Aegis as well. Frost Shard onto Warlock, and there's no Aegis for him, so he's going to have to use his actual Medallion Aegis. Boomerang Fury, EX, Boomerang Storm, sorry, onto Warlock. Meteor's not going to hit him though, but Gashag is pursuing. Seikyo is really low as well. Reflect coming out, and the flag is not going to really hit anyone. I think it hit God, but that's going to be it. Invisibility thrown onto Grimrock as well. And Vorlock was so close to dying. He's not going to die though. Sends out his Wisp. Immobilizes Gaz. There's going to be a conflag. Only going to hit God once again, but he was so low that might have been a kill. Doesn't end up happening. Slice and dice on the Assassin. He's given another shift Aegis. And he gets hit by the... I think he's just clipped by that ult. And they're going to get a Shadow Bolt kill onto Nomad there. Nicely done. Gaz is going to go down as well. Surely, with all these ults coming out, someone has to hit him. So finally, Gazhag goes down. Really nice playback by Worm. Warlock and Sikyo seem like they're in such trouble, but this is something that happens in BLC a lot, where there's so much confusion and like the winning team just wants to kill something. They're so close, but they end up not being able to. I'm sure you can make a private BLC server. People just don't look into it. Like, we just don't have the person who's smart enough to know how to do it. Anyway, X-Strike gonna miss Assassin. Blood Grip on the Sanu, he's so low already. And Firestorm charges coming through. Sanu really, really low. Pops his Aegis. Double Wind Strike. Almost killed by the Point Blank Shadow Bolt, but it was really well silenced by God of Law. Instead of healing, he just ends up silencing that. And gets hit by a backstab Shadow Bolt and a Blood Grip as well, so he has to be careful. Sikyo trying to press in on the pressure. Huge ult onto Warlock though, and he's going to have to ult away just for safety. Another strike onto God of Law. He's very low, but has Totem, and Gazhag's backing him up. Black Dagger onto Sikyo, max range Blood Grip. M1 with another shift to finish off Sanu there. Another strike, going to hit Gaz. Assassin's actually knocks Gaz into that nether strike. So I'd say accidental, but definitely some good coordination there. And 3-2. Worm looking to stay in this game. Same map, same picks. They're starting to figure it out a little bit from the looks of it. But can they close it out? They're only one round ahead. Deviate in from Gaz. Gets hit by a lot of M1s already. Dryad just M1ing him down. X-Strike not going to hit Dryad either. Firestorm and more M1s into Gaz. He's so low. He just went so ham this round. And Sikyo even gets the rune. Lands a Shadow Bolt onto Gaz. And he has to dispel it off of himself. Affliction going to spread to 3 players here. Sanu does have an ult farmed up, luckily. Throws his Tornado Call into the Aegis, though. A bit unfortunate. Sassas does have space to dodge that ult. And lands all 3 of his Firestorms. Gazhag's still alive though, even hit with the Dryad ult. Just pops his haste, his sprint, and gets away. Amp onto Sanu, and he throws out a haste, an X-Strike. Webby's Volcano is actually going to end up stopping that Shadow Bolt. I think it would have landed if that didn't happen. And that's definitely more worthwhile than the Volcano, but... X-Strike coming out onto Warlock. Slice and dice as well. Frost Shard onto his ult, and God of Law throws his ult at the same exact time. They just nuke him down. He had ult, so he thought he was safe. That was actually such a such a well coordinated play. My God, the turnaround on that Dryad. And that is kind of some of the stuff that makes people say that, or it made people used to say that Dryad's like weak, but Dryad's definitely not weak. She can just be nuked sometimes. Space forward from Gaz, scores tied up. Totem on the floor. Sikyo going for M1s here. Gets a Blood Grip, Shadow Bolt onto God of Law. He forces his space, but has his own space to chase him. Was Black Daggered for a second, still going in. Gazhag gets set up on with Volcano standing in the amp, but does have Puncturing Strike, so never a threat for him. Ult coming out, Conflag onto Sanu while he was amped up by Harbinger, however. And Gaz is ulting as well, but he's really low, and he has to be dodging these Shadow Bolts. He was doing a good job of dodging those. Still really low, and he's going to get killed by the Fire Beam. Assas just starts spraying it everywhere. And he catches Gaz after the BB-8 back. So Sanu just throws out a Boomerang Fury in hopes of someone standing nearby, and now Sanu's complaining. Lag. Says that he clicked the space. I don't think that lag would have messed that up though, I'm not sure. I'm doubting you, Sanu. I mean, yeah, it actually wouldn't, so I don't know how he's gonna complain about that. I hit 3 Shadow Bolts. I think that's more of a stalker, dude. Like, yeah, I think that's more of a stalker like thing than oh, nice Shadow Bolt attempt by Seikyo. He's actually really good at those Shadow Bolts, man. Sending out another one, not gonna hit Sanu. X Strike on the Seikyo, gets Black Daggered as well, so Gaz does get the rune, no healing for Seikyo. Does have an Aegis though, gets a Blood Grip and a lot of M1 damage onto Sanu from Assassin as well. Boomerang Fury though onto, or Boomerang Storm, I keep confusing it, onto Warlock. Backstab Shadow Bolt though, and Gaz's ult thing does have an M1 landed, so we can go for more deviates. Puncturing Strikes the wall, does have another deviate lined up to catch Warlock, and they're trying to all in this Grimrock here, but it's so hard to do that. They land a Shadow Bolt onto him though, and they're going for defensive plays now though. I think that the Grimrock attempt might have been where they wanted to go. They're going to kill off Sanu, but Conflag, if that Conflag had landed onto the Grimrock right there, he would have went down. We would have been on a third map there. But this is going to go to 4-4. Unless Assassin's can do something amazing, but no, Slice and Dice M1. That's going to be it. And we're on the final round. 1-0 lead for Cold in the best of 3. So if they win here, they end up winning the map, or sorry, the match. And Sass starting with his Firestorm to try to zone him back, but of course, as soon as it's done, they're gonna move in. Sanu CCing up Seikyo. M1's going into Sass. Wind Strike onto Seikyo as well. X Strike onto him. Double Webby's Volcano. Very nicely done. Shadow Bolt onto Gazhag. He's so low. Lands a Black Dagger. Has his ult farmed up. Gonna go for Shadow Hunt. Sluggish Bomb and a Boomerang Fury onto Warlock. 600 damage at once coming out from Sanu and Gazhag. And that's gonna be the final round. Wind Thrust, Wind Strike there to kill off the Harb. So yeah, 2-0. Well done by Cold. I was actually not sure who won this one. For some reason I thought that like Warm went further on, but I saw in the replays that there's only 2 maps, so I was a bit confused. I thought that there might actually just be a missing map, especially when Warm were winning as much as they were. And then in the other map, when Worm almost came back because of the lag, quote unquote, I'm not sure. I'm not going to doubt Sanu. Sometimes he can be known as a bit of a BM guy, but I don't know. I don't really have any personal altercations with him, I guess. Anyway, nice games. Yeah, I guess I'll do more BLC later. But I'm fucking going to bed.